Welcome to another Woods Russell video blog. My name is Matthew Russell. I'm an expert in accounting, business and tax advice for small and medium-sized companies as well as individuals, partnerships and sole traders. The topic of this video blog is auto-enrolment, and it's the second in a series of blogs I've done on auto-enrolment. The first one was to do with the regulatory issues surrounding auto-enrolment, and if you want to see that again or catch up on that, please go to our website www.woodsrussell.co.uk and follow the links and you should be able to find it. In this video blog I'm going to be focusing on the financial effects to the small employer and also how to assess your employees and the different categories they fall under. So by the end of this video blog you should have a greater understanding of how it's going to hit your wallet, and also the nitty-gritty about how to actually assess employees and, depending on their circumstances, how you have to treat them differently. As always, feel free to send me any comments or suggestions. All my details can be found on the website, and please feel free to get in touch. So without further ado, I'm going to start the video presentation on auto-enrolment.
So as stated in this video blog, I want to show you how you actually assess your employees and who falls under auto-enrolment, depending on two things really: their age and the amount you pay them. And in terms of when you need to do this, well, you need to assess your employees every time you pay them, essentially. This can be quite burdensome, especially if you pay your employees a different amount each week. That means you've essentially got to assess them every week. And also if you pay them bonuses or commission as well, that needs to be taken into account. But in this blog, I'll just go through the general way you would assess your employees, and then also how much it's going to cost you in contributions. So the first category of employee are the young and old, and what I mean by young and old is, I mean if you're below 22, so 21 and under, and if you're over the state pension age. So these are people that typically wouldn't be that interested in pensions because they're either very young or they're very old and they've already got their pensions. And that's why they're treated slightly differently, I believe, by the pension regulator. So, if your employee falls into that category, what you have to do depends on how much you pay them. So, in the first example here, if they're being paid under £486 a month or £112 a week, which is a yearly amount of £5,824, then the cost to you, the employer, is absolutely nothing. And that's because at this level of pay, they can choose to contribute themselves to the pension scheme, and they have the right to be included in the pension scheme, but you don't have to contribute to them. And you have to write to these employees to explain that to them. The next bracket up then, so if you pay them over this amount, £486 a month, or £112 a week, and you notice it's all broken up like that, so just to help you out, if you depending on how you pay your employees, really, monthly or weekly. So if they're over this amount and they're young or old, then they will have, they will have the option to be auto-enrolled, but they won't be automatically enrolled. And what I mean by that is, you'll write to them and you say that you're telling them that they have the option and the ability to opt in if they want to, but they will have to proactively tell you that they want to opt in. If they do tell you that they want to opt in, then you will have to include them in the pension scheme, and you will have to contribute. So that's what I mean there by you will have to contribute if the employee chooses to opt in. So that's for 21s and younger, or those over state pension age. Next category is basically everyone else in between that age gap, so from 22 to the state pension age. And now there's three categories, because there's three different ways that you have to assess them. And as I say, every time you pay them, you'll have to kind of go through this process of seeing, okay, where do my employees fit in. And I think the tricky bit is, you're going to have to keep track of all their ages for when there's birthdays, etc. When they change categories, especially if you employ apprentices, for example, or younger employees. And then also when there's pay reviews or bonuses, etc., you're going to have to really stay on top of it. And if they're paid a different amount weekly, then you're really going to have to be hot on this. So anyway, the amount of pay. So if you're under that 486 a month, £112 a week, again, the cost to you is nothing at all. Again, they can choose to opt in to the pension scheme here, and they can contribute, but you have no obligation to contribute as well. I guess also to mention is if you do want to contribute, you're more than welcome to. These are only the minimum limits. There's nothing stopping you doing this if you to contribute to a pension scheme for an employee earning under 486 a month if you want to. So if they earn over 486 a month, but not more than 833 a month, which is an annual equivalent of £10,000, then in this situation, so in this bracket, then it's the option where they can choose to opt in if they want to, where they have to be proactive and tell you they want to be included in the pension scheme. Again, you'll have to write to them, and they'll have to proactively ask you to be included. But in this situation, if they do want to be included, you will have to contribute to their pension. And then the final bracket for those aged 22 to the state pension age is those over £10,000 a year. That's 833 a month or 192 a week. And to be fair, this is going to be most of your employees, generally speaking. And these ones you have no choice but to contribute and auto enroll them. And this is this is really what it's all aimed at. Really, this will be the bulk of the employees in the workforce across the country, and there's no choice with these. They are auto enrolled, so when you hit your staging date, you instantly start contributing to their pension scheme. But that means you do have to assess your employees to see which bracket they fit in. So hopefully that helps a bit to show you where your employees how your employees will be assessed and what you have to do depending on their circumstances. Then the other side of the coin is, what do you have to contribute? What is your cost going to be? Now it depends. It's being scaled up, and it's starting at 1%. So if it's before the 5th of April 2018, which it is at the time of doing this blog, then the cost to you is going to be 1% of your gross pay. The employee will also have to contribute another 1%, so there'll be 2% in total, but the cost just to you is only 1% of their gross pay for the initial starting point. And this increases gradually, so from the 6th of April 2018 to the 5th of April 2019, you're going to have a 2% contribution on their gross pay. And by gross pay, I should say that that includes things like bonuses and the rest of it that would normally be considered as gross pay. In this 6th of April 18 to 5th of April 19, the employee has to contribute 3% of their gross pay, so they're actually now contributing more than you, the employer. So the total will be 5%, and this again is the minimum contributions. You can, if you want, you can decide to increase this, but you just can't go below this. And then from the 6th of April 2019, it's 3% for the employer, and that's what it's currently set at. Here it's 8% in total, so 5% the employee will be contributing, which is actually quite a bit. Then it's starting to get quite a bit of their salary then. And yeah, this is where we're going to be. That's not to say that the government, I would imagine, are going to look to change this in the future. I can't see them just leaving it there, and I imagine it's only going to go one way, and that's upwards. But that's where we're going to be from the 6th of April 2019. Yeah, so I hope you found this video blog useful, and I hope it's shown you in a bit more detail what categories your employees will fall into and how to assess them, and also what you'll be contributing as an employer. As always, if you have any questions or any comments, please feel free to email me or get in touch. All my details can be found on the website at www.woodsrussell.co.uk. Well, thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again in another Woods Russell video blog. Thank you.